And now we're going to learn about change orders. A change order is an adjustment to the contract. There is no separate document to make when you record a change order. You simply edit the original estimate. The change order only appears on the original estimate, and you can only see the change order if you print the estimate or print the preview of the estimate. Change orders affect the percent complete of each estimate on the progress invoice reports. For example, let's imagine on February 5th, Q.B.O agreed to add 75 replacement pipes to the Southwoods Road job estimate, and we charge him $33 for each one. He also agreed he needs 10 fewer units of steam cleaning. We should look at the job progress invoice versus estimate report both before and after making the change order. We can open the report conveniently from the icon bar, and here's the Southwoods Road job. Notice before this change order, the job is 20% complete. Let's double click and open it up. Now, we need 10 fewer of these steam cleaning items, so that means we only need 40. Push Tab on the keyboard to save the change. Now, we also want to add replacement pipes, not replacement parts, replacement pipes. And we're going to charge Q.B.O. Well, actually he needs 75 of these, and we're going to charge him $33 each. We push the Tab key. Don't worry about the price level warning. We can click the Don't Bother Me box and then it'll click OK, and it won't bother us. So the new total amount of this estimate is now $16,225. When we click Save and Close at the bottom of the screen, we get this pop-up. Progress invoices have been created from this estimate. Changing amounts on the estimate will affect the percentages of the amounts invoiced compared to the estimate. Do you want to record the changes to the estimate anyway? Now, at the moment we click Yes, we get this pop-up, Add a Change Order. Notice it describes the change. It actually shows the date and time according to the Windows clock, because I'm actually recording this video on July 27th of 2016. But we all know that in the video it was February what? It was February 5 that Q.B.O actually made the change order, February 5 of 2017. But we agree with all the other text, and we can edit this text, and this will be added to the estimate as a change order. We click Add, and it closes. Ha ha! Now when we come back to the job progress invoice versus estimate report, the job is not 20% complete. The job is only 17.63% complete because we added more to the job, so there's a smaller percent complete. Now you may notice if we double click and open it up, we don't see the change order on the screen. In order to see the change order, we would either have to print this or print a preview. We do that by clicking the print icon, and because this is only a video, I will only click the preview. Now this is what the estimate would look like after the change order. If I zoom in a bit, you can see here are the items after the change, and here's the description of the change order, the date that it happened, and a description of what was added, what was decreased, etc., and then the net change to the estimate. You would have to print this or save it as a PDF in order to have some evidence of the change order. If you make an invoice after a change order, the percent complete will be based on the total after the change order. For example, Let's imagine on February 10, we made invoice number 7 for the Southwoods Road job for an additional 10% of the estimate. The 10% will be based on the new totals after the change order. Let's take a look. We open the invoice window from the icon bar, and we know that the job is the Southwoods Road job for Kirschbaum. Notice the estimate is still active. Estimate number 3 has not been completed, so we have to select it. In this case, it's the only one we can select. And when we click OK, QuickBooks again asks us, should we create a progress invoice based on the estimate? The answer is yes, and we should click Create Invoice for a percent of the entire estimate, and this time put in 10%. Push the Tab key to save the field. Now click OK, and notice the quantity has been adjusted accordingly. The remaining quantities of these were 50, so 10% is 5. We had adjusted this down to 40 after the last change order, so 10% of that is 4. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that 7.5 is really 10% of the 75 replacement pipes that we added on the change order. Now when we click Save and Close, available credits, we will not apply the available credits now. We will discuss applying credits in another video. So click No, and now when we open up the job progress estimate versus invoice, we see it is now 27% complete. Now before this invoice, it was only 17.63%. So when we added another 10%, it added 10% to what the estimate was at the moment that we made the invoice. To learn this topic properly, let's take a look at a second example. Imagine February 20, Kirschbaum agreed we need 5 fewer units of electrical work. We should look at the job progress invoice versus estimate report both before and after making the change order. We open the report from the icon bar and see that this is 27.63% complete before the February 20 change order. We double click and we can go up to electrical work. We need 5 fewer units. So that means we have to change this to 45 from 50. After we save and close, we get this warning. Progress invoices have been made for this estimate. Changing amounts on the estimate will affect the percentage of amounts invoiced compared to the estimate. Do you want to record the changes to the estimate? When we click Yes, we get Add Change Order, and of course, I'm recording this video on July 27th of 2016, when in fact the change order, according to our story, is February 20 of 2017. This at least shows that you can edit any of the text that QuickBooks will place on the change order. Click Add. Now we can see that the Kirschbaum Southwoods Road job is now 28% complete. It's a little bit more complete than it was a moment ago because we determined we need fewer units of a particular service. Now, if you actually want to see the second change order, you would have to double-click the estimate, and again, you can't see it on the screen. You have to go to the print icon and either print it out or click Preview and preview it on the screen. Now, it looks interesting. You can see that when you print a preview, what will print on the estimate is both change orders and every change order listed after the items. Let's click to zoom in. Here are the newest quantities and the latest quantities and the latest costs for the project of Southwoods Road. Here's the change order we did in our first example, and here's the change order that we just recorded right here. Now, I'd like to conclude this video with one very important piece of advice. it's a good idea to print or save the job progress invoice versus estimate report and the job estimate versus actual detail report, and you should do this after each change order and after each invoice. When you print or save these reports after each change order or invoice, you should date stamp each one. The reason I'm telling you this is because there is no report that shows the running balance of the entire estimate after each change order and after each invoice. And that piece of information might be relevant. You could always figure out what the balance is at any given moment by looking back at the reports and looking back at the change orders, but it would be more convenient if you remembered to print out the reports after each major change.